Everyone, my name is Adrienne Jewell. I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and on eBay. I go by Jewel Butterfly on Poshmark and Mercari, and I'm Jewel Butterfly 23 on eBay. So today's video will talk about titles and descriptions. So what you'll need in your title, what you'll need in your description, and we'll touch a little bit on price comps, which price comps are what you need to help you determine how much you're going to list your item for. So let's get on started. When you are listing your item on Poshmark, you're going to begin with your pictures. So I always drag and drop the pictures from whichever folder I saved them in. And in my last video, I talked about how to make your pictures bright and beautiful so they are ready to list on your selling platform. Now in the Poshmark title area, I always include the brand name, the garment name if I have it, the material it's made out of, special details, cut, and the size. So in here, in this title, I found that from the tag that it's a Knockabout's 100% virgin wool vest. So that's what I put in here. I could not fit the size, so I put it in the description. In the description, I include the size if it doesn't fit in the title, a cute description that tells a story, a short story that explains in detail what the customer is going to receive. And then I also include any approximate measurements. And I use the word approximate because I've heard of some horror stories where people were off by half an inch or a few centimeters even, and were able to get the item, or the customer was able to return the item because of that. So I always include that it's approximate measurements. And then I have a standard disclaimer at the end of my listing that just says that it is whether it's gently pre-loved or it's brand new, that I ship next business day, and that I'm always open to offers. Now make sure your description includes as many details as possible because those descriptions are searchable. So here I say it's a Southwestern style vest that will help you bring pizzazz to your wardrobe this season. They can enjoy it with their favorite boots. It's Aztec pattern, warm colors, and metal buttons. So then of course fill in all the other drop downs down below. So when it comes to price comps, I always look at the active listings. I don't look at solds because there are too many variables with solds. You'll find that the pricing is all over the place from people that are just trying to get rid of stuff, and from resellers, it's all different. So I look for items that are like my own, if not the exact match. And then I kind of get an idea from there of what I want to list my item for. And I can also look at the manufacturer's website to get an idea of what the retail price is for an item like mine. Once I'm all done, just kind of double check my work and then list the item. Alrighty, on to the next item. We're going to go with this Lane Bryant sweater. This Lane Bryant sweater was also featured in my last video. I talked about how to make a flat lay for your cover shot, which I'm going to use that flat lay item as my cover shot because I thought it was just super cute. Again, title, this always begins with the brand name. The details in this case was that this is a lace-up sleeve sweater, and then I included the size of this item. So again, try to do a good description that includes all the details so it explains exactly what your customer is going to receive, and it can entice your customer to purchase that item. So I'm telling my customer here that this is an absolutely stunning sweater with lace-up sleeves. It's your soon-to-be favorite comfy sweater this season. They can enjoy the soft fabric, the rib details, and chiffon lace sleeves. So I'm telling my customer all these details to sell the item, but also I'm telling them what the item is. So make sure that you try to include as many descriptions as possible because again, those are searchable. And of course I include the measurements. With long sleeves, I find that customers ask me for the length of the sleeves if I don't include it, so I included that in this one, and then my standard disclaimer at the end. Fill in all the blanks, the size, what type of item it is, and the color. Then when I went to price comps for this one, I kind of looked at, again, active listings for items that were similar to mine. I didn't find an exact match, so I just kind of went by what's similar. And I was also looking at the starting price of the item, so the actual retail price for items like in the Lane Bryant sweater area. I didn't find one that I was happy with, but I did find the price that I want to start listing my item with, which was $35. And I kind of listed on the higher end just to make sure that I have room to negotiate with offers to likers, or if someone did send me an offer, we can kind of negotiate the price from there. Okay, so we're going to go with this Mason Jewels dress. So with this Mason Jewels dress, this was also in my haul video, and I'll link that above if I can, or down below in the description. So again, title always starts with the brand name, which is Mason Jewels in this case. Dresses can be a little tricky because you want to include the cut of the dress. So I wasn't really sure about this one. I knew it was sleeveless, but I wasn't sure about the cut of the dress. So I went to my good friend Google and went to see if I can find the cut of this dress. So I knew it wasn't a sheath dress. I knew it wasn't a shift dress. So I was trying to find out what the exact cut style, dress style this was. So finally figured it was a shirt dress, and I included that it was a floral pattern dress and it's a size large. I was able to include all that in my title. Now with the description, again, I'm trying to make it appealing to my customer so that when they read it, they're kind of enticed and attracted to this item even more than just the visuals. So I have that it's a feminine piece that dons floral patterns, specks of triangles, squares, and hearts, along with a blush pink color. They'll be amazed by all the details, and it has all this embroidery. I also include that best of all, this dress has pockets. We love our pockets as ladies. I love them, at least when it comes to dresses. Then of course I include the approximate measurements. With dresses, I find customers tend to ask for the waist size, which is kind of the smallest width area of the dress, so I included the waist size in this case. My standard description that it's pre-loved, ships next business day, and they can make me an offer if they want to. Now Poshmark's asking me, is this a mini, midi, or maxi dress? So I went to Google to see, okay, is it mini, what's midi, what's maxi? So mini is above the knee, midi is at the knee or lower, and then maxi is kind of almost floor length. So I decided it's a mini in this case and filled in all the required areas. When it came to the price comparisons, what I did is I looked at the retail value of this dress, and I went to Macy's, which is where this dress is sold, went to the retail value, and then kind of made my own idea of our asking price, which was $30 in this case. Now Celine Paris, this one was also in my video for my $50 haul, and I'll link that below. So Celine Paris, this is a graphic tee size medium. Now this one was an interesting piece because the brand name tag and the size tag was gone, so I had to use measurements to get the size of this item. So I included pictures of Rihanna because I wanted that to be selling points, and I'm telling my customer they can get Rihanna's look with this Celine Paris tee. It's a neutral tee. They can style up or dress down. It's 100% cotton, so again, the material that it's made of is included in the title and the description. Just in case they miss it in the title, it's in the description. It features black font, it's an off-white color, and it has dolman sleeves. Dolman sleeves, you kind of, as you start selling more, you kind of just figure out what sleeve types are, cut styles, all that good stuff as you get more experience. Watch other resellers too and see what they're listing or including in their descriptions. So my standard disclaimer goes down below. I included the measurements in this case. If I don't include the measurements initially, I will get asked, and then I'll update the listing when I do get asked. I mean, as a part-timer, it's a little bit harder for me to keep up with it sometimes. Posh was telling me I misspelled dolman, so I just went to Google to see if I was correct, or if Google or Posh was wrong. Google's right. Google's always right. Just kidding. No, it's not. So I went to Poshmark active listings for the some sort of price comp, but I couldn't find anything at all except this one, which was $115, and with the brand tag missing and the size tag missing, I wasn't comfortable listing it as $115. So I just went for $50. I thought that was reasonable, and that gives me room to negotiate if I want to. All right, when it comes to purses, the size Actually, this one was new with tag and I had the style number. Include that because people can search for that style number. If it's sold out in stores, they'll come looking to Poshmark, include that style number, and they can find it if it's included in your description. Now, the size of the purses defaults to one size, but you can change it to the measurements. So I always do that. So I do that with purses because I do get asked how can I get the measurements. So to do this, what you can do is when you get to entering the size of the item, go to custom and then you can type in your measurements. I don't know how many characters you're limited to, but I can usually fit everything that I need to in here. So again, starting that it's approximates, not exact measurements, so don't try to return it if it's not the measurements you're expecting, but these are approximately what they are to give you an idea of how big this item is. Now when it comes to shoes, sometimes you have the shoe's name inside of the shoe. It's by the sometimes by this the size area. So these ones are Guess Grand leather booties. So Grand is spelled with 2 R's. So I included that in the description. So if someone were to search for Guess Grand with the 2 R's, my item shows up. So that's why your descriptions are just as important as your titles. Let's search for another one. So this Southwestern style vest. So if I was searching for, I'm looking for a Southwestern style vest and I go searching for listings that include Southwestern style and press enter or search, bam, there's my item. My customer finds my item, which I personally think are cuter than the others, but of course I'm biased. But that's why your descriptions are important, because I didn't have that in the title, it was in the description. I don't know why I changed the drop down to people here, but if I'm looking for a blush pink dress, you're not going to find it in people. Make sure your drop down is on listings. So let's see if that blush pink dress comes up that I had just listed. And a lot of people include that in their titles or descriptions, so we got a lot of results here. Let's keep scrolling and see if mine is one of them. Bam, there it is. So that mine is a little cuter than the others. JK, kinda. Okay, so that's everything that I include in my titles, my descriptions, and how I price my items. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you're an experienced reseller and I've left anything out or you have your own strategy, please leave your tips below so that we can use them going forward. I really appreciate you joining me this week for this video. If you have any suggestions for upcoming videos, please take the survey up above. I'll also have a link down below. I read every one of your comments too, so feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will see you next Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful sales week. Go blink crazy.